caucus meeting for the Hudson County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Hudson County TV found out about a number of hot topics being discussed throughout the county. For one thing, the board wanted to know about a memorandum agreement that went between the local PBA in Hudson County and the county as a whole. As it turns out, the vote was actually very close up to whether or not the agreement would go through, and while the vote did pass, there seemed to be a discrepancy about how many members were actually in the union and who was actually present at the meeting.
Stay after the meeting, we have a committee meeting.
I strongly urge the board not to meet with representatives or members of a union on matters that are union business. You're right, anybody can come here on Thursday.
I agree, we should have people, let them come and speak Thursday. And if people want to come Thursday and assert that members did not vote, or assert that members voted and their votes weren't counted, they have the right to do that. And based on whatever record they create, we may have to act accordingly.
And I like to make a comment too. I've been hearing it the last 2 days from two sides, and the stories are so polarly opposite that you need the two sides in here to speak. And I think that's unfair.
But understand, we deal with their collectively bargained for representative. We have, and I defer to any freeholder or respect it, whatever you want to look into. We have to deal with who PERC has acknowledged as their representative. If they have a problem with their representative, how they conducted an election, or whatever was done, I don't even know what the allegations are. It's not for us to get involved in. There are forums for that to be addressed.
We have to follow a process.
We are required.
Right, and we're not that process. The process is the same way that anybody will file against the, they gotta go to PERC.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, if and I have no knowledge today of any of this, but if people come here Thursday and say, I'm a correction officer and whatever, either I wasn't allowed to vote, or they held the vote on a day and a place that was impossible. You know, I'm not trying to come up with what any scenario would be, but that puts in doubt the validity of election. I'm not going to just simply say, tell somebody to turn around and go file an action. I've got a responsibility as an elected official, if there is credible information provided to us, to pause and seek to try to get to the bottom of that information.
I tend to agree with Freeholder today. I think we are the representative of the people. I think these are employees in the facility. If there is any issue, we should hear from both sides.
But you understand something, Jose?
Wait, hold on a second. Let me finish.
There's an elected union here that you can't get involved in a union election either. I understand what Bill said.
We're not getting involved in the union election. It's getting to a point where we're going to have to vote on this. So it's coming in front of us.
Right.
So if we have to vote on something, I like to have the complete information of what I'm voting for.
Right, exactly. Our question should be more like, was there a posting of an election? Was enough members, with all the membership notified? That's the questions we ask.
Well, no one, look, I got elected by the people. No one has to tell me what type of questions I can ask, what I cannot ask. I can get advice from legal counsel on what I should ask and what I shouldn't ask, but I shouldn't be mandated to what I should ask or I shouldn't ask. It's coming in front of us, okay? We had to vote on this. If there is an issue on it, I want to hear about it. That's what I asked the gentlemen to stay for the committee meeting, so at least we can hear them.
I'm against that because there's no union officials here that shouldn't be discussed in committee.
That's fine. If the attorney,
I was a union member. I was negotiating for 20 years.
Don't get excited.
Don't do this like this.
Don't get excited. We have an attorney here that will make a recommendation to us, and then we follow the recommendation, or we don't follow it.
Right, but you can't invite union or non-union leadership into our public safety meeting. Then how we do things. Like Bill O'Day said Thursday, they want to come up to the podium, express what they have to express to us. It's up to us to see what type of action we're going to take towards it. So let's hear the case. But you can't invite them into our public safety meeting. They're not the union leaders.
I'm John Itis, Hudson County TV, Jersey City.